Okay. Before the video starts, we have to address this. So last week I did something very human, and that was, in part 1, I was told that Ember had a scar over her left eye. Over her left eye. This is not her left eye. This is her right eye. For all of you that notice that, yes, I'm addressing it. I make mistakes. Okay, I'm not perfect. But yeah, I drew the scar over the right eye instead of the left eye. So you know what we're gonna do? We're just gonna rewrite it and say she has a scar over her right eye. There, it's all fixed. Everything's fantastic. But hello, welcome to part 2 of me drawing Wings of Fire characters created by ChatGPT. In part 1, I said I had ChatGPT create 6 characters for me, and then I proceeded to only draw 3. That one wasn't a mistake, okay? The scar thing, that was my bad. But I swear, I know my left from right, okay? I can't get off this topic, okay. But it wasn't a mistake that I said it created 6 characters for me. Now, it created 6 more regular characters, and I kind of wanted to spice things up a bit with some hybrid drawings. So I just kind of plugged the characters back into ChatGPT and I said, hey, can you remake these guys as hybrids for me? And it was like, yes, absolutely. And I actually did a familial connection between 2 of the characters that you'll see later in the video. So I think we should just hop on to our first character. Character number 1, name Phoenix, tribe Skywing Seawing, appearance. Phoenix has a striking appearance, with bright red scales that shimmer like molten gold in the sunlight, and emerald green underscales that glimmer in the water. He has piercing amber eyes that seem to reflect the warmth of the sun, and his wings are large and powerful, with a blue-green hue. He has a long tail, and his talons are razor-sharp and adapted for swimming. Personality. Phoenix is a confident and ambitious dragon who is always striving to be the best. He is fiercely competitive and takes great pride in his skywing and seawing heritage. He can be brash and impulsive at times, but he is also fiercely loyal to his friends and allies. Background. Phoenix was born into a family of skywing warriors and seawing ocean explorers. He was trained from a young age to be a fierce fighter and swimmer, honing both his fire and water abilities. He currently assists his seeming father with exploring the ocean, learning all there is to know about the sea, while also using his skills in fighting to protect his father from any harm the new ocean might bring. Abilities. Phoenix has a unique combination of both skywing and seawing abilities. He has the ability to breathe fire and withstand high temperatures, as well as the ability to breathe underwater and control water currents. He is an exceptional fighter and strategist with a natural talent for analyzing battle situations and coming up with effective plans. In addition, he has a unique ability to create steam clouds by combining his fire and water abilities. Alright, this guy was very hard to make. I've realized that the thing I struggle most with is colors and making sure colors work in harmony with each other. The amount of time I spent on just coloring was insane. It was too long. But in the end, I think he turned out pretty snazzy. Chat said that he had red scales and then proceeded to say that looked like molten gold. And so I just went with the gold thing because I was like, this will definitely work better than red. And I know it said red, but it also said looked like molten gold. So I just went with the more gold color. And I really love this guy. He's like really confident and like the nice version of arrogant. I guess that's just confident. I mean, he is just the best friend anyone could have. Like, if he's your friend, you will feel good about yourself every day, because he'll make sure you feel good about yourself. Yeah, he really loves his mom and dad. He had a very good childhood, because they were both super in love, and they gave him a lot of love. So he grew up a very confident little guy. And I like to think about how he did a lot of fighting training with his mom, and his dad taught him a lot about the ocean, so he really just loves both the sky and the ocean. He loves flying and swimming equally. And chat also said that he had emerald green scales underneath, and I put like all the green, I mean, it's more teal, but it's okay, it counts. I put all that on his wings and more like on top because it just flowed better. But yeah, that's Phoenix. I really enjoyed drawing him, like the line art. The colors, I don't know. It was really hard, but I think he turned out pretty good in the end. Okay, character number 2 is Starcaller. The first thing I want to say is that they're non-binary. They weren't originally, but I told chat like, hey, can you make them non-binary? And chat was like, of course, they're non-binary now. So that was lovely. Alright, about Starcaller. Tribe, Nightwing Sandwing. Appearance. Starcaller has the characteristic dark scales of a Nightwing on their back, wings, and tail, with a lighter sandy color on their underbelly and legs. Their eyes are a deep purple with flecks of gold. They are smaller in size than most Nightwings, with a more streamlined build that allows them to move quickly and quietly. They have a stud earring on their right ear that they received from their Sandwing father as a gift. The earring is said to enhance their natural ability to sense vibrations in the sand. Personality. Starcaller is a thoughtful and introspective dragon, often lost in their own thoughts and observations. They are highly analytical and perceptive, always seeking to understand the world around them. Background. Starcaller was born to a Nightwing mother and a Nightwing Sandwing father who were both fascinated by the mysteries of the world. As a result, Starcaller grew up surrounded by books and ancient artifacts, constantly learning and exploring. They quickly discovered their own affinity for strategy and planning, and honed their skills by playing complex games with their parents and their Nightwing cousins. However, they struggled to fit in due to their introverted and analytical personality. They spent most of their time alone, reading and studying the mysteries of the world. They never felt quite comfortable with their Nightwing heritage, which seemed too rigid and controlling for their taste. On the other hand, their Sandwing heritage instilled in them a deep love of the desert and a desire to explore it. One day, Starcaller left their home to embark on a journey of self-discovery, traveling across the vast deserts and mountains of Pyria. They have developed a reputation as a reclusive but brilliant strategist, sought out by those who recognize the value of their insights. Abilities. Starcaller is a talented strategist and planner, with a knack for anticipating and outmaneuvering their opponents. They are particularly skilled at using their Nightwing powers of foresight and mind reading to gain an edge in battle. However, they prefer to avoid conflict when possible and will use their Sandwing heritage to blend into their surroundings and escape unnoticed. Alright, so I have a lot to say about Starcaller. The first thing being, chat mentioned they had a stud earring, and I didn't make it exactly a stud, I made it a little gem, and it was given to them by their father, and it's supposed to enhance vibrations in the sand, and I was like, that means it's animus touched, and I was kind of wondering who in their family would be an animus, but I just couldn't see anyone in their family being an animus, so I had the idea that maybe in this telling of Wings of Fire, they have certain shops where you can sell animus-touched items, and that's maybe where their father got that earring for them. And one thing ChatGPT also mentioned was that they use their Sandwing heritage to blend into their surroundings, but that won't really help in the desert. Like, their little black dot, that's not going to be very helpful. So I kind of just deleted that. And they don't have the Sandwing tail barb because I asked and chat said no, they don't have one. And I was like, okay, that's cool. That's what you get with hybrids, is they're not always gonna ideally have like all the special traits of each tribe. Like with Sunny, she kind of just looked like a normal Sandwing but without her tail barb. Another special thing about Starcaller is I made them related to the next character, so let's talk about Prism. Yes, the next character is named Prism, and you won't believe it, but she's an all-wing, or at least an all-wing of the dragons on Pyria. Now, when I asked chat to make me an all-wing, it kind of just said, they have rainbow everything, and I was like, no, I'm not gonna do that. So I finally got chat to give me a color, and that color was lavender, and I think that color actually worked out really well for Prism. So I'm gonna read about what chat said about her and then give my own telling of her, because I feel like it took me so long to draw her that I just created a whole story around her within that time. So let's read what chat said. Name, Prism. Tribe, multi-tribe. Appearance. Prism is a stunning dragon with shimmering lavender scales. She has a slender build and graceful movements, with wings that seem to sparkle like diamonds. Her eyes are a bright and expressive purple and blue. She wears a necklace of different gems and crystals from each tribe. Personality. Prism is a kind and gentle dragon who values harmony and unity above all else. No, I'm not gonna let this happen. I asked Chat, no, scrap this. I don't want her to be nice. I want her to be mean. So I said, make her mean. So let's listen to that personality. Personality. Prism may come across as cold and unapproachable to some, with a sharp wit and a tendency to speak her mind bluntly. She is fiercely independent and does not tolerate anyone trying to control or manipulate her. Despite this, others are drawn to her confident demeanor and the sheer force of her personality. There is a thrill in being around someone who is unapologetically themselves, and many find themselves drawn to her unpredictability and willingness to take risks. Despite her tough exterior, Prism does have a softer side that only a few close friends have seen. Background. Prism was born to a Nightwing Sandwing father and a mother who is a hybrid of Icewing, Mudwing, Rainwing, Seawing, and Skywing. Despite her diverse heritage, Prism's upbringing was characterized by her parents' separation, which left her with a sense of independence and resilience. Growing up, she developed a sharp wit and a tendency to speak her mind bluntly, which sometimes made her appear mean-spirited. However, beneath her tough exterior, Prism had a deep appreciation for the arts, using her creative talents to express herself and find solace. She embraced her unique lineage and learned to channel her emotions into her artwork, creating pieces that often reflected the complexities of her mixed heritage. Despite her harsh demeanor, Prism's passion for promoting unity and acceptance remained strong, and she sought to use her talents to bridge the gaps between tribes and foster understanding among dragons. Abilities. Prism has a unique ability to harness the powers of each tribe. She can breathe fire like a Skywing, breathe underwater like a Seawing, create illusions like a Nightwing, and manipulate plants like a Rainwing, to name just a few. Hold on. Manipulate plants like a Rainwing. Leafwings are the ones that manipulate plants, but I don't want to take that away, so I'm just gonna say she manipulates plants like a Leafwing, but then that would mean her mom or her dad had Leafwing in them. Okay, no, this works. Alright, so I'm adding this on. It's very faint, but Prism has a small piece of Leafwing heritage, and that's why she can control plants. Yep, we fixed it, it's all good. And let's just say she has visions like a Nightwing. Her abilities are constantly evolving and growing stronger as she continues to learn from each tribe. She is also an excellent diplomat and negotiator. Okay, and that is Prism. She's very complex, but I love her very much. One of my favorite things about her is that she wears a necklace with gems that represent each tribe, and I went ahead and designed the necklace with different gems that I thought suited each tribe. So I'm just going to show on screen the inspirations for each gem. I kind of just looked up gems that were the same color as the tribe that she's representing. So I found Enstatite for Mudwings, Yellow Jasper for Sandwings, Ruby for Skywings, Turquoise for Seawings, Unikite for Rainwings, and then a Black Quartz for Nightwings and White Quartz for Icewings. So that was a crazy ton of fun to design the necklace. I think it turned out very lovely. I need to do more crystal and gem drawings. Like, this was crazy fun. I don't know. There's something about doing that sharp lighting that I really love, especially with the ruby and the Enstatite. So yeah, for Prism, I think the only Mudwing aspect about her is I kind of gave her that lighter colored jaw that I see on Mudwings a lot. And for Sandwings, obviously she has that nice frill. And then her Skywing heritage kind of makes it so she can breathe fire and probably just fly really well. With her Seawing heritage, she can breathe underwater. And I gave her the little frills behind her ears to represent her Rainwing heritage. And then Nightwing-wise, she has those future sight powers. And her Icewing heritage kind of just gave her that paler looking color. And I asked Chat if she had any Icewing abilities, and it basically said no. You can read the paragraph if you want. I thought it was pretty interesting and I liked it. Surprisingly, I really liked drawing Prism. I thought she was kind of going to be a chore because, I mean, she's an all-wing and those can be a bit difficult to design, but I think she turned out really well and I couldn't have done it without the guidance from chat. Whenever I had a design question, I kind of just went there and was like, please help, what color is she? But the most fun part about designing Prism is I was designing her as a sibling to Starcaller. And I'm gonna put on screen the family tree. Basically, Prism and Starcaller are half-siblings because they were born to the same father, who was a Nightwing Sandwing, and his name was Solstice. And Solstice and Mudskipper were together to have Prism, but something happened and they split up. And so when Prism was around 4 or so, Solstice got together with Duskwielder, who was a Nightwing, and they had Starcaller, who's a Nightwing Sandwing. And Prism, her parents never, kicked her out, but they were both kind of unwelcoming to her because they kind of saw each other in her. Like, Solstice saw Mudskipper in her, and he kind of had harsh feelings towards Mudskipper. And so sometimes he just didn't seem very open to Prism. And the same with Mudskipper, where she wasn't very open. And they'd always be there for her unconditionally, but they were just never overly kind to her. So she kind of set out on her own when they split up. And when Starcaller was born, Solstice told them that they had a half-sibling out there somewhere. And at first that didn't really spark their interest because they just didn't care that much. But in recent times, they were really longing to be in Sandwing culture because they'd only lived in Nightwing culture because that's where Solstice and Duskwielder decided to raise them. And they thought, maybe my half-sibling is out there, and that made them really curious to not only explore the deserts of the Sandwing territory, but to also maybe find their half-sibling while they're at it. So yeah, that's the complicated history of Starcaller and Prism. I honestly really want to draw more of them. I feel like at some point Starcaller would meet Phoenix, and they would get along because Phoenix has so much ocean knowledge and Starcaller loves learning. And so I think they would definitely get along. Starcaller would probably be a little confused at how nice Phoenix was, just because they grew up with a mom and dad who were kind of not mean, just closed off emotionally and just straightforward with things. And maybe Starcaller would bring Phoenix along with them to find Prism. And because Phoenix is such a supportive friend, after he kind of bonds with Starcaller, he might go with them to find Prism. That's how I think these 3 hybrids' journeys would intertwine. So yeah, that's our 3 hybrid characters made by ChatGPT and drawn by me, and also I added on a lot of backstory and history. Everything with Prism and Starcaller's mom and dad I came up with, and Chat gave me the building blocks with the short little paragraphs. So that was a lot of fun. I'm definitely going to do more art of these 3 and maybe an animation, or at least a scene animatic, because I really want to do more with them. They were really fun to draw, and I don't want this to be it, you know? Let me know in the comments what you think of Prism, Phoenix, and Starcaller, and like and subscribe if you'd like to see me do more little drawing challenges like this. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see y'all in the next video.